Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael J. Long, and thank you for joining me. Today is July the 7th of 2012, and I want to discuss something very important that I feel is very important. Now, on the 27th of July, the United Nations is going to have a conference in New York City with Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and President Barack Obama, and I guess they're going to try to sign this anti-gun legislation, which will create the United Nations and its international agencies to regulate over the United States with regards to guns. This is a constant gun control scheme that will make guns so expensive if ratified by the Senate and signed by the President, and they could that they could essentially ban your right from having the right to bear arms with any particular sort of weapon, and it'll make weapons so expensive that you won't be able to purchase them. And that's their hope. See, they're going to try to create their one world government, the globalists, and one of the first things they want to try to do is disarm us, because they know they can't go up against a public that is well informed and well armed. And then the sheep, of course, are going to go along with it. So this is a conference that they're going to have in New York City, and the likelihood is, if it's ratified and signed, I don't think there's any recourse that's going to take place, because the Senate and the Congress, and at this point, wouldn't be able to override it or cancel it. Neither would the state legislators, because this is like a treaty. So I suppose that the next president after Obama, whether it be, if he's really true to liberty, whether it be Gary Johnson or Ron Paul, those two would be my only hope. They might be able to cancel it. They cancel the treaty, because treaties are only binding until otherwise. But I don't think Congress or any other part of the government is going to be able to do anything after it's signed, unless the free market rebels and sets prices to a low standard and gives everybody to buy the weapons. And my guess is, buy it now while you still can. Because if they get their way with this, they're going to have gun confiscations going on and stuff. And you need to know when to, and it's up to, I'm going to wash my hands on this one. It's up to you whether you want to take the appropriate action to kill the police officers that try to take your weapons, or surrender. Whatever action you choose to take is up to you. Whatever it is. I'm not going to get involved with your decision. You are what you are. Okay? I'm not saying submit, and I'm not saying kill. But, you do what you think is appropriate. If you think surrendering to them is appropriate, then that's your damn problem. If you think that fighting them is going to help you, I mean, that's your call, not mine. You do what you think is in your best interest. But, I would probably file a lawsuit if I was going to challenge this legally. Because really, they can't make any treaties unless it's binding to a war, unless it has something to do with, and even then, they can't violate your Bill of Rights or the Constitution. But what's to say that they can do whatever they want, right? So this could very well be challenged legally, and I mean legally, but, I just think that, that people ought to have the right to bear arms so that they can protect themselves from criminal intent activity. And if the government gets out of hand and they don't have a warrant and they start doing their shit, you can at least fend them off a little. I mean, this is exactly what was put into place. And our founders understood this. Our forefathers, because they've recognized that this anti-gun scheme, the United, I don't understand why we don't just get out of the United Nations. That's why we need a good president, and really, just to take aim at the police that are going to come to confiscate your weapons and stuff. You need to do more than that. You need to go out and vote, basically, and you need to vote for the right people instead of voting for the status quo. Because I can guarantee you, whatever treaty comes of this, Mitt Romney's not going to, get rid of that particular treaty once it's signed, nor is he going to get rid of Obamacare. And let me tell you something. When Mitt Romney signed into law the Affordable Health Care Act, well, he made the blueprint for it. He was in favor of the individual mandate in this state of Massachusetts. So he doesn't have really any opposing views on the medical insurance and requiring all people to get medical insurance and all this other stuff. But I would just state the case that, this whole idea that we're just going to shoot the police if they come and confiscate our weapons, that's one thing. But you need to go out and vote if you're eligible to vote. You need to go out and vote for people who matter. You need to go out and educate people. You need to quit laying on your butt all day, and you need to get together with your community and discuss who you're going to vote for and who they're going to vote for, and try to make some kind of decision, whether it be Gary Johnson and Jim Gray for the Libertarian Party, or whether it be Virgil Goode and Jim Clymer, who's running under the Constitution Party. Listen, I can't make your decision for you. You got to make it yourself, okay? And, Mitt Romney and Barack Obama are just more of the same. We can't afford another 4 years of Barack Obama, nor can we afford 4 years of Mitt Romney. And if they're going to be the same, and we can't afford 4 more years of Barack Obama, what makes you think that Mitt Romney is going to be any different? He's not. He's going to sign the same exact kind of garbage. He's for Mitt Romney and Barack Obama, as you know, are both for gun control. They're both for gun confiscations. They're both for illegal immigration, cap and trades, abortions, and all this stuff. They're for whatever the globalists want. And they're going to pay lip service to try to get in. And Obama, he's already got the natural tune because he's trying to get people that are more to the left, while Mitt Romney tries to get people that are more to the right. Let me tell you something. Voting for I've heard this before, that a vote against a Republican is a vote for Barack Obama. Okay, if I wanted to vote for Barack Obama, I'd vote for him. Trust me. If I want to vote for Mitt Romney, trust me, I'll vote for him, right? But if I don't want to do that, then why am I going to waste my time voting for Romney or Obama? If I vote for a third party, that means I don't want Obama and I don't want Romney, and a vote for a third party is a vote for a third party. What's so hard to understand about that? And I've heard this over and over and over again, that if you decipher votes from that if you vote third party, you'll decipher votes from the Republicans, and the Democrats will win. But you know what? The Democrats say the same thing to their people. Then if you vote Republican, if you vote for a third party, you'll decipher votes from the Democrats, and the Republicans will get in. Okay, so what difference does it make? If the majority of the American people voted for a particular third party, that third party would get in a heartbeat. And to give you an example, Abraham Lincoln was one of those guys. The Republican Party at that time was a third party. And that didn't stop Abraham Lincoln from getting in, despite bad coverage of, well, if you vote against the Whigs, you'll decipher votes from this party. If you vote for the Republicans, you'll decipher votes from the Whigs, and this party will get in. And that didn't happen, did it? Instead, it ended up being one of the largest major party alignments that this country has ever faced. So seriously, this is this stuff that the media tries to cram down our throats is garbage. First off, in order for Gary Johnson to make it on the debates, he's got to poll poll above 15% of the threshold in various national polls, and that includes getting CNN, Fox, and the mainstream media and their polling companies to poll him. So why did they sit there and say that? Well, after Prospero, they put that standard in place because they know the media can, if you're required to get onto the national polls, that the media, all they have to do is exclude you, and then you don't get into the debates. You see how freaking clever they are? You see how clever the Board of Elections and the federal government is in creating the Board of Elections so that the Women's Rights League wouldn't run your elections anymore? And now you got to have this freaking piece of crap standard? And it's all set up to set third parties astray so they never get in? This is garbage. The Board of Elections has to go. Elections for the federal level and for the state level should be run by the free markets, because they can certainly do a better job than this freaking piece of crap Board of Elections getting above the 15th threshold in the national polls. That means he's got to get 16%. And all the while, these freaking corporations, these CNN and monstrous media outlets, they're trying to ignore him on purpose so he doesn't end up like Ross Perot. And then they're selling and let me tell you why. They're selling Mitt Romney as the nominee. Because they're going to rig it. And they want to sell you this idea that Mitt Romney is the nominee. So if Ron Paul ever wins on the convention floor and they're able to rig it, then it becomes part of your acceptance. That's why they're hyping Romney. That's why they're ignoring Gary Johnson. That's why they don't mention a Dan who's already the Libertarian Party nominee. And that's why they're ignoring Ron Paul, who's running against Mitt Romney for the Republican nomination. I mean, this is crazy what they're doing. The media, that is. You know? And that's set up so we can get the same status quo people that have been pre-selected by the Illuminatis and all these globalist pigs to then turn around and do what Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama are going to do the things that they've done and what they're going to do with this gun confiscation. I'd imagine if it gets passed, if it's signed into effect by the president, who's already a freaking dictator, I can imagine how things are going to get. Alright? I mean, come on. I mean, look at Europe. Most of them don't have the right to bear arms except for Switzerland. But the vast majority of them don't have the right to bear arms. And freaking people can come in and rape them and murder them and do whatever they want. And the government does whatever they want with them. Just like in Mexico. Just like in Enrique Peña Nieto's country, Mexico, which he's president of. You know? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous what they're doing. Third-party candidates have the right to have coverage, and you have the right to know who they are. And for the freaking media to hide under the First Amendment and say they can do whatever they want, it's about time we freaking quit listening to them and start boycotting them. And, you know, the fact that our taxpayers, our tax money pays for them to run their freaking mouths and stuff is beyond me. Okay? So, anyways, I'm Michael J. Long, and thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.